Investigation of secret Border Patrol group launched as new degrading Facebook posts surface. The U.S. Customs and Border Protection Agency has opened an investigation into vulgar and misogynistic social media posts made by members of a secret Facebook group for current and former Border Patrol agents. On Monday, U.S. Customs and Border Protection was made aware of disturbing social media activity posted on a private Facebook group that may include a number of CBP employees, said Matthew Klein, head of the agency's Internal Affairs Unit. Klein said CBP immediately informed the investigators with the Department of Homeland Security's Office of Inspector General and initiated an inquiry. The investigation comes after the secret 3-year-old Facebook group, which is called IM1015 and has some 9,500 members. Group members' recent posts shared with ProPublica include a meme using graphic language to mock CNN anchor Anderson Cooper's sexual orientation in a comment that referred to soccer star Megan Rapinoe as a man. A separate thread, one poster wrote, "At least it's already in a trash bag." Another wrote, "Sue Vidi? Lol." Klein said, CBP's code of conduct bars employees from making hateful and abusive statements on social media. The group's posts were also condemned by Border Patrol Chief Carla Provost. "These posts are completely inappropriate and contrary to the honor and integrity I see you and expect you from our agents day in and day out," she said in a statement. Any employees, the disclosure of the group's existence and the nature of the posts raise a number of questions that remain unanswered. It's apparent from on Capitol Hill, the leader of a key oversight committee expressed outrage. "This Facebook group is beyond sexist and racist. It is truly abhorrent and shameful, and there is no excuse for this depraved behavior," said Benny Thompson, a Mississippi Democrat who chairs the House Committee on Homeland Security, one of the committees with jurisdiction over CBP. The agents found the story generated widespread revulsion on social media, with more than a dozen members of Congress expressing horror and disgust at the posts. Some called for one of the targets of the offensive posts, Ocasio-Cortez, responded several times on Twitter. "This just broke," a secret Facebook group of 9,500 CBP officers discussed making a GoFundMe for officers to harm myself and Republic Escobar during our Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez at AO. The union representing Border Patrol employees, the National Border Patrol Council, issued a statement saying that the Facebook group is not representative of our employees and does a great disservice to all Border Patrol agents, the overwhelming majority of whom perform their duties admirably. ProPublica's reporting, the union said, cited a handful of people who posted inappropriate content out of 9,500 members of the Facebook group, not all of whom are active duty agents. But CBP insiders told ProPublica that the Facebook group has played host to offensive memes and degrading humor since it was launched in 2016. "The problems with the 1015 page have been going on for years," said one current Border Patrol agent who asked to remain anonymous for fear of retribution. "No one has done it." The agent said that during the 2016 election, group members wrote up homophobic posts attacking an openly gay agent who voiced support for Hillary Clinton. "Nobody seemed to." Former Border Patrol agent Jen Budd, who is now an immigrant rights activist, told ProPublica that language like floaters you used to refer to the bodies of drowned migrants in a post about the widely shared Associated Press photograph of a father and daughter who died crossing the Rio Grande last week is normal, everyday terminology. "That's as normal as saying 1015, Budd said, referring to the code for a migrant in custody that the Facebook group uses as its name. Budd said she had little faith that CBP really intends to investigate its own. "When they sit there and say, 'We're not going to tolerate this,'" Budd said, "they are, I am just going to say it, lying." Revelations about the group came the day after Facebook released of its efforts to protect civil rights across the social media platform. The audit specific Heidi Beirich, the director of the intelligence project at the Southern Poverty Law Center, said she'd been pressing Facebook to pursue secret groups like 1015 and hidden hate speech for years. Facebook has not yet responded to questions from ProPublica. Some members of the Facebook group predicted there would be trouble if the posts ever became public. A bunch of people, you understand this page is full of agents, right? Replied another member, apparently suggesting that no one would expose the offensive comments of their fellow Border Patrol employees.
Raindrop, drop top, smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park pot.